Psych is an American detective comedy drama television series created by Steve Franks and broadcast on USA Network with syndication reruns on Ion Television. It is produced by Franks and Tagline Television's Chris Henze and Kelly Kulchak. The series stars James Roday as Shawn Spencer, a young crime consultant for the Santa Barbara Police Department whose heightened observational skills and impressive detective instincts allow him to convince people that he solves cases with psychic abilities. The program also stars Dulé Hill as Shawn's best friend and reluctant partner Burton Guster, as well as Corbin Bernsen as Shawn's father, Henry, a former officer of the Santa Barbara Police Department. During the second season, an animated segment was added to the series titled The Big Adventures of Little Shawn and Gus. Psych debuted on Friday, July 7, 2006, immediately following the fifth season premiere of Monk, and continued to be paired with the series until Monk's conclusion on December 4, 2009. It was the highest-rated U.S. basic cable television premiere of 2006. It is currently USA Network's longest-running original series on air. USA Network renewed the series for an eighth season on December 19, 2012, to include 8 episodes, and ordered 2 more episodes on June 25, 2013, bringing the episode order to 10. On February 5, 2014, USA Network confirmed that the 8th season of Psych would be its last, with the series finale airing on March 26, 2014. Overview: most episodes begin with a cold open in the form of a flashback to Shawn and Gus's childhood. The flashbacks usually involve Shawn and Gus being taught a lesson by a young Henry Spencer, who wishes that his son would follow in his footsteps and become a law enforcement officer. These lessons often play a role for the climax of the episode. As a child, Shawn was taught by Henry to hone his powers of observation and deduction, often using games and challenges to test him. Each flashback also sets the theme for the episode. Shawn originally becomes known as a psychic when, after calling in tips on dozens of crimes covered on the news which help the police to close the case, the police become suspicious of his knowledge. The police theorize that such knowledge could only come from the inside, and they decide to arrest him as a suspect. To avoid being sent to jail, Shawn uses his observational skills to convince the police that he is psychic. The interim police chief warns Shawn that if his powers are fake, he will be prosecuted. With no choice but to keep up the act, and having proven himself an effective aid to the police in solving crimes, he establishes a psychic detective agency, Psych, and becomes a consultant to the police. Pretending to have psychic powers allows him to engage in strange and comic behavior as he turns real clues into hunches and otherworldly visitations. He enjoys teasing lifelong friend Burton Guster, a pharmaceutical representative, about Gus's eclectic interest as they drive around in a blue Toyota Echo nicknamed the Blueberry solving crimes. Head detective Carlton Lassiter, playfully named Lassie by Shawn and Gus, quietly respects Shawn's crime-solving skills but doubts his psychic abilities and is constantly exasperated by his antics. However, Junior Detective Juliet Jules O'Hara and Chief Vick are far less antagonistic, with O'Hara expressing belief in Shawn's abilities, while Vick is mum on the subject, and usually willing to give Shawn the leeway he needs to solve cases. Henry and Shawn have a difficult relationship, but despite this, Henry reluctantly helps Shawn on various occasions. Cast and characters. Main characters. Shawn Spencer is a freelance consultant with the Santa Barbara Police Department who pretends to be a psychic. However, it is really his exceptional observational skills and eidetic memory that allow him to obtain his visions. He refuses to take anything seriously but has matured slowly throughout the seasons. He has had romantic tension with Juliet O'Hara since they met, which led them to start dating in the middle of season 5. In the middle of season 6 he tries to propose to her but finds out that neither of them are ready. Burton Guster is Shawn's best friend since childhood as well as business partner. He also is a pharmaceutical salesman. Unlike Shawn, he takes his work very seriously, playing the straight man, and usually tries to act professionally, yet in later episodes he ends up as invested in jokes and snacks as Shawn. He is famous for his many aliases, including Magic Head, Lavender Gooms, Guy Buttersnaps, and Control-Alt-Delete. He is known for being attracted to all types of women, who often end up being the criminal. He is also known for his super-sensitive nose, the super sniffer, or super smeller. He is also usually very sensitive and has a gigantic soft side. Carlton Jeebediah Lassie Lassiter is the head detective for the Santa Barbara Police Department. He is skeptical of Shawn's psychic abilities, and is extremely annoyed by Shawn's comic antics. However, he once secretly confessed to Shawn while drunk that he respects him, and because of this he occasionally comes to Psych for help with his more difficult cases. During Season 7, Lassie married his girlfriend, Marlo. In Season 8 they find out that Marlo is pregnant. Juliet Jules O'Hara is a junior detective for the Santa Barbara Police Department, and is Lassiter's partner. She joined the SBPD after Lassiter's old partner got transferred after the pilot episode, and was originally a cop in Miami. Throughout the series she and Shawn share constant romantic tension. The two start dating in Season 5 but hit a bump when she discovers his secret in Season 7. The bump is only temporary, though, and the two resume dating near the end of Season 7. In the final episode of Season 8, The Breakup, she accepts his marriage proposal. Chief Karen Vick is the SBPD chief. She is tough but fair, usually reluctant to hire Shawn and Gus for cases, but almost always gives in. She respects Shawn's help and input but firmly keeps him in check when he pushes the limits of the law or her patience. Henry Spencer is Shawn's uptight and precise father and a former police sergeant. He trained Shawn on everything about being a detective, going so far as teaching him to remember the layout of a room with his eyes closed and beating a lie detector. He is usually visited by Shawn with questions about various cases but is also usually reluctant to help. He has been rehired to the SBPD to be in charge of the department's consultants, much to Shawn's chagrin. At the end of Season 6 in a cliffhanger ending, Henry quit the SBPD and then was shot by a former police partner after finding out he was being paid to cover up cases for criminals. In the Season 7 premiere, we learn that Henry survived the shooting and is making a recovery. In spite of no longer being part of the SBPD staff, he still helps Shawn with his cases. Recurring characters. Young Shawn is the younger version of Shawn Spencer. He is shown at the beginning of most episodes in flashbacks to the late 1980s and early 1990s, usually learning a life lesson from his father, which helps him later in the episode. He has also been portrayed by Josh Hayden and by Kyle Pejpar. Young Gus is the younger version of Burton Guster. He is shown at the beginning of various episodes in flashbacks with Shawn. He was also portrayed by Isa Brown during the first season. Buzz Mcnab is a naive but lovable cop who often provides Shawn and Gus with clues. He takes every case given to him by Lassiter and Juliet with a polite, optimistic attitude, despite both Lassiter and Jules finding said case to be menial. Shawn gives him a little boy cat that once helped him solve a case in Season 1. In Shawn Gets the Yips, Mcnab is severely injured when a bomb went off in his mailbox while he was getting his mail. Later in the episode, he returns to work with a severe concussion and on crutches, remarking to Shawn and Gus that he had lost part of 3 toes, and when Shawn coughs, he immediately begins to go get Shawn a drink of water before being told numerous times that he should rest. He has occasionally pulled Shawn over for various traffic violations only to realize that it is him and apologize. In the 4th season finale episode, Mr. Yin Presents, Mcnab is attacked and knocked unconscious by the unseen killer. He returns in Season 5. In Season 7, he appears as a male stripper at the hotel where Marlo has her bachelorette party, attended by both Juliet and the chief. Madeline Spencer is a police psychologist who is Shawn's mother and Henry's ex-wife. In the episode Ghosts, she tells Lassiter that she has eidetic tonal memory, which is like Shawn's photographic memory but with sound. She also appears in Murder? Anyone? Anyone? Beulah. An Evening with Mr. Yang, Yang 3 and 2D, and Juliet Takes a Louvre. She was portrayed over the shoulder by a different actress in Shaun of the Dead. Psych is partially inspired by the 1980s hit TV series Moonlighting, in which Shepard plays the lead character, and Madeline Spencer was made to symbolically give birth to the lead character of Psych. Abigail Letarte is Shawn's high school crush, whom he let get away when he moved from, then back to, Santa Barbara and his parents got divorced. She first appears in Murder? Anyone? Anyone? Beulah. And returns in An Evening with Mr. Yang, He Dead, Bollywood Homicide, and You Can't Handle This Episode. In You Can't Handle This Episode, the winter half premiere of Season 4, Abigail departs for Uganda. However, she returns in the episode Mr. Yin Presents. After being kidnapped by Yin and saved by Shawn, she tells him she does not like danger and breaks up with him after the two share a final kiss. Winnie Guster is Gus' mother. She appears in the first two of the series' Christmas episodes, Gus's Dad May Have Killed an Old Guy, and Christmas Joy. She later appears in Nightmare on State Street in one of Gus' nightmares. Bill Guster is Gus' father. Although the character of Gus' father appeared in the first two Christmas episodes, Bill Guster was played by Ernie Hudson in Gus's Dad May Have Killed an Old Guy, and by Keith David in Christmas Joy. Mr. Yang was a serial killer, first appearing in An Evening with Mr. Yang. She returns after a decade-long absence to target Shawn in her deadly game of cat and mouse. In the Season 4 finale, Mr. Yin Presents. Shawn and Gus visit her in prison. She seemed to have a deeper connection to Shawn, as the last scene of Mr. Yin Presents shows Yin, Yang's partner, looking at a picture of what is presumably a younger Yang, standing next to young Shawn. Her help is enlisted again by Shawn and Gus in Yang 3 in 2D, the fifth season's finale, in which it is revealed that she is actually Yin's daughter. She later returns in Psych, the musical, in which she is stabbed to death by the eventual murderer. Mary Lightly was a department psychologist who was an expert on Mr. Yang. He first appeared in An Evening with Mr. Yang, and later in Mr. Yin Presents. He was stabbed to death in the Season 4 finale by Yin while bravely trying to capture him alone. He appears on videotape in Yang 3 in 2D, as well as in an after-death sequence in Psych, the musical. Woody the Coroner is a police coroner with whom Shawn shares a mutual respect. His wife cheats on him with multiple men, some of whom he has approved. He is also apparently wanted in the Philippines. He first appeared in High Top Fade Out. Mr. Yin was a serial killer who was actually responsible for the Yang murders. He is also Yang's father. He first appeared in Mr. Yin Presents, targeting Shawn, and later returned for a second round in Yang 3 in 2D, in which he is murdered by his daughter. Pierre Despriat is an extremely elusive Canadian art thief, first appearing in Extradition, British Columbia. When Shawn and Gus travel to Canada on a ski trip, they end up catching him. However, it is revealed that he, in fact, is simply an insurance fraudster. Despriat returned in Extradition 2, the actual extradition part, in which he was accused of multiple murders after his escape from prison. He is later cleared of the murder charges and finally extradited to the United States. He returns in Indiana's Shawn and the Temple of the Kinda Crappy, Rusty Old Dagger, in which he races with Shawn and Gus against a gang of art thieves to find an old dagger. While he is seemingly murdered and the SBPD believe him to be dead, Shawn and Gus know the truth. He finally appears in Lock, Stock, Some Smoking Barrels and Burton Guster's Goblet of Fire, where he is revealed to be Royston Staley, Deputy Director of Interpol. He claims Pierre Despriat was created as an elaborate undercover operation, although Shawn and Gus are divided over whether this is the truth or part of an even bigger con. Declan Rand is a rich criminal profiler so good at his job that he poses a threat to Shawn. He turns out to be a fake criminal profiler and knows that Shawn is not a real psychic. He briefly becomes Juliet's boyfriend. His first appearance was in Shawn 2.0, and his most recent appearance was in 1, maybe 2, Ways Out. In Extradition 2, the actual extradition part, Juliet announces that she and Declan broke up. He is considered a fake, just like Shawn. He is compared to Shawn in a few ways, like the fact that both their fathers taught them about the fields that they are working. Marlo Viccelio is a woman Lecter meets and later marries. It is later discovered that she has been stealing blood in order to help her dying brother, and she is sent to prison. Despite this, her relationship with Lassiter continues. She first appears in This Episode Sucks, and later in Let's Do Wop It Again. In Season 7, after being released from prison, she and Lassiter tie the knot and later have a baby girl. Kurt Smith is a British singer best known for his work in the band Tears for Fears. He first appeared in the episode Shawn 2.0, where he had been hired to perform full-time at the estate of Declan Rand. He later performs while intoxicated at the wedding of a friend of Shawn and Gus. In the episode 100 Clues, Kurt is hired to perform at an elusive party that Shawn and Gus are invited to. However, he is shot in the diaphragm as he arrives. In episode A Nightmare on State Street, Gus dreams that Smith is eaten by zombies. Frank O'Hara is Juliet's estranged father, and also a talented con man who uses his talents to fool the Santa Barbara Police Department. Shawn figured out his schemes, but told him he wouldn't give him up if he mended his relationship with Juliet. Juliet figures it out, but he tries to right his wrongs by solving the crime. Juliet is slowly starting to have a better relationship with him. He first appears in For a Penny, and again in Here's Lassie. Ken Wong is an Asian American who works for Shawn and Gus, is fired, and is seen working at various places they visit. He is seen in Romeo and Juliet, and in Plain Fright, as well as #Killer, an online-only episode. He does not like Shawn and feels that he wants him to be jobless. Rachel is Gus's girlfriend, who first appeared in Juliet Takes a Louvre. It is revealed later in the same episode that she is a single mother. Lloyd French is Juliet's stepfather. He first appeared in No Country for Two Old Men, and, later, in Right Turn or Left for Dead. Episodes. Notes. Production. The show uses White Rock, British Columbia, Canada for its Santa Barbara, California setting. Psych also incorporates Vancouver and various locations around the lower mainland of British Columbia as a backdrop. Santa Barbara is on a mountainous coastline without bays and just has the few Channel Islands miles offshore. Many of the overlooking helicopter shots and setup shots are actually filmed in Santa Barbara. The animated segments The Big Adventures of Little Shawn and Gus were created by J.J. Stelmeier Productions, Incorporated. The music, effects and sound design for The Big Adventures of Little Shawn and Gus were created by Fred Weinberg. Theme song. The theme song for Psych is I Know You Know by the Friendly Indians, series creator Steve Frank's band. Some episodes in seasons 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 use the extended full-length version of I Know You Know, but most episodes use a shortened version, consisting of mostly the chorus. In some episodes the theme song is changed, usually as a tie-in to the theme of the episode to come. Variations. The theme was given a Christmas theme for the episode Gus's Dad May Have Killed an Old Guy. It was used again in Christmas Joy, and The Polarizing Express. The song was sung in Spanish for Lights, Camera, Homicidio, and No Country for Two Old Men. It was expanded into Bollywood-themed version sung in Hindi in Bollywood Homicide. Boys II Men performed an a cappella version of the theme for High Top Fade Out. It was used again for the episode Let's Do Wop It Again. In the Season 5 premiere, Romeo and Juliet, the main titles are translated in Chinese. However, the actual theme song itself is not edited. Kurt Smith of Tears for Fears guest starred in Shawn 2.0, and recorded his own version of the theme. Smith also recorded a song for the episode The Polarizing Express. Julie Cruz, who recorded the theme for Twin Peaks, recorded a slower, extended version of the theme for the Twin Peaks-inspired episode Yule Spires. A superhero-themed version was recorded for The Amazing Psych Man and Tag Man, issue number 2. The main titles were also redone in a comic book style. For the episode Here's Lassie, the song and main titles were given a theme similar to The Shining. The Christmas-themed and Hindi versions of the song also include variations on the main titles. The Hindi and Chinese-themed episodes phonetically translated words into Devanagari and Chinese characters, respectively, in their title sequences. The title sequence in the episode Dual Spires is an almost shot-for-shot recreation of the title sequence of Twin Peaks. The episode 100 Clues featured an entirely new main title sequence based on the board game Clue. The actor names and title were shown on game cards similar to those of the cards of suspects in Clue. Pineapple. In the episode pilot, James Roday improvised by picking up a pineapple and saying, "Should I slice this up for the road?" Since then, pineapples have appeared in almost every episode as a running gag. The pineapple is a major marketing point for items related to the show on the USA website. There have also been fan movements, such as fan-made websites, dedicated to finding a pineapple or pineapple-related object in each episode. Series finale post-show. Following the series finale on March 26, 2014, the USA Network aired a live post-show. The hour-long special was hosted by Kevin Pereira and featured series stars and creator-executive producer Steve Franks. Response, critical reaction and ratings. Psych scored a 4.51 rating and an average of 6.1 million total viewers at its premiere, which made it the highest-rated scripted series premiere on basic cable in 2006 in all key demographics, according to a USA Network press release, quoted from the Futon Critic. From the San Jose Mercury News: James Roday is utterly charming and delightfully funny as Shawn Spencer, and he gets fine support from Corbin Bernsen as his cop father and Dulé Hill as his Dr. Watson-esque sidekick. From the Seattle Post-Intelligencer, Psych is one of those happy collisions of an intelligent script and an appealing cast. Roday's a charmer, nice-looking but more charismatic than pretty, and ably paired with West Wing alumnus Dulé Hill, who plays Shawn's ultra-responsible childhood friend Gus. As the show continued to grow, it became a mainstay in the premiere television show on the USA Network. Critics and fans have given high praise to the chemistry between the entire cast, most notably Roday and Hill. The themed episodes and overall creativity have also been received well. Positive critical reception for the show has dramatically increased as the show has gone on. Significant applause has been given to the show for remaining fresh and witty, even as they pass the 100-episode mark, and the online fan community is extremely lively. Nominations and awards. Psych was the winner of the Independent Investigations Group Annual Award for Excellence in Entertainment for advancing the cause of science and exposing superstition. Accepting for Psych was staff writer Daniel A. James Roday was nominated for the 2006 Satellite Award for Best Actor in a Euro TV series musical or comedy. James Roday was nominated for the 2009 A Award for Best Actor in a Comedy. Psych was nominated for its first Emmy Award in 2010 in the category Outstanding Music Composition for a Series for the episode Mr. Yin Presents. Adam Cohen and John Robert Wood were the composers for this episode. Psych was nominated for its second Emmy Award in 2012 in the category Outstanding Creative Achievement in Interactive Media for their interactive game #Killer. Psych was nominated for its first People's Choice Award in 2012 for Best Cable TV Comedy. Psych was the winner of the People's Choice Awards in 2014 for Best Cable TV Comedy. Syndication. In July 2011, ION Television announced that Psych will become part of their 2012 broadcast in syndication. During 2012, reruns of the show mostly ran on Saturdays as a marathon. In 2013, ION Television announced the acquisition option pickup of Season 7 of Psych. The deal with Universal Cable and New Media Distribution adds all 16 new episodes of Season 7 to ION unregistered trademark S existing library of Seasons 1 to 6 of Psych and includes rights to future seasons. Psych is also aired on the Clue channel. DVD releases. Seasons 1 through 6 are available on DVD in regions 1, 2 and 4, as well as for online streaming on Netflix and Hulu and online download in the US, Canadian, UK, and Australian iTunes stores. In addition, the 7th season is available on DVD in Region 1 and in the US, Canadian, and UK iTunes stores. The episode Psych, the musical, is available on DVD in Region 1 and for download in the US iTunes store, as well as for online streaming on Netflix and Hulu. The 8th and final season is also available for download in the US iTunes store. Despite being available in HD over streaming and download video services, and seasons 4 through 8 being filmed in HD, no Blu-ray release of Psych exists. Novels. William Rapkin has written and published 6 novels based on the series. The novels are written in third-person narrative style. References. External links. Official website, Psych at the Internet Movie Database, psych@tv.com, Psych on TV Squad.